Good evening. Welcome to your weather with Dooley Godot. I am going to take you through this weekend's forecast. We're going to talk about big snow in Minnesota and the Midwest, and we're going to talk about heavy rain in the deep south, in the mid-Atlantic, and heavy snow in the Northeast coming ahead in the coming days. We're going to take a look at a very interesting storm that's taking place that's going to first come down out of Canada and affect Minnesota and the northern central plains state. So we're going to take a look at our big map here that's going to show us what's going on across the nation, and it's going to show we're going to take a look and you see this winter storm warning. There it is across the northern Dakotas and western Minnesota. There's a winter weather advisory more towards central Minnesota and eastern Minnesota. The Twin Cities are going to get anywhere between 1 inch to 4 inches of snow. The further east you go, the less snow you're going to get as you head into Wisconsin. This system should completely miss Wisconsin, but if you are in the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Iowa, expect to get this storm head on and feel the full brunt of this storm, as some areas can pick up to 15 inches of snow in western Minnesota. Down in Mankato, towns in also South Dakota, Sioux Falls could pick up a lot of snow here, and it can pick up a lot of snow in Alexandria. Fergus Falls could pick up to 15 inches. Des Moines could pick up to 8 inches of snow. We expect that, and then the storm is going to dig down into Missouri with some freezing rain and a little bit of snow, but a lot of mixed precipitation in the Missouri area, and it's going to drop into Arkansas and Louisiana, and we're going to see it wind up and really tap into that Gulf of Mexico moisture where it can pick up some showers and some thunderstorms. We could see some isolated severe weather, maybe a potential for tornadoes, as there is a lot of twisting in the atmosphere as that center of low pressure comes into the deep south. And then this storm is going to round the base of the mean trough that's directing the traffic in this part of the nation, and it's going to head up the eastern seaboard. It's going to bring a lot of rain to the mid-Atlantic, some freezing rain around the D.C. area and Virginia, and then it's going to wind up with heavy snow for New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, and the Vermont and Maine and New Hampshire could pick up heavy inches. It's too early to tell exactly how much snow you're going to get in the Northeast, but it's going to snow somewhere. Somebody's going to get a good amount of snow, but this storm has yet to round the base of the trough and head up the East Coast. So we don't know yet how close to the shore it's going to be, whether it's going to move inland or if it's going to move out further out to sea. The further out to sea it goes, could be less snow. The precipitation could be lighter. If it's inland, it could be more snow for Canada, for southern Canada, Ontario, Montreal, Toronto could pick up more of the heavy snow. That snow could be more of upstate New York, western Pennsylvania. The more inland areas could pick up more snow, or it could be lighter snow because a lot of that moisture isn't going to be there to work with because the storm has taken a more mainland track. But we're going to take a look at some model ensembles and see what's going on, see if we can get a better handle on what exactly going to take place with this storm. So we are going to go to our GFS model now. As you can see in this part of the map that the storm is making this is what this map is going to look like tomorrow as this storm moves into Minnesota. And we're going to take a look and we're going to manipulate this map and make it move. If I can get the map to open. Google is acting silly with me here today. So we can see this is for tomorrow. Tomorrow's run of the GFS. This is not the ensemble. This is an operational. And what the GFS stands for is the global forecast solution. And what this is, one of our weather models that we use to help determine what the weather is going to be. This works by taking information from data put into the computer system based from the soundings, different data people report in from different locations. This is what's going on, the local weather, what's taking place. That information is fed into a supercomputer, and those computers spit out data, numerical data. It spit out a solution based on the numerical data that's fed into that computer, and it spits out possible scenarios of what the atmosphere is going to do. You can tweak that data, and it'll tweak what the model returns. So that's the GFS. That's the operational run. Pretty much take what this model generates, especially if it's more than 2 days. I'll give it 2, maybe 3 days. Anything beyond that, kind of take with a grain of salt. That maybe the further out you go, this model is good. Maybe 5 to 7 days. You go beyond that, it can go up to 2 weeks. It can run out to 2 weeks, but the further you go out, the more hazy it gets. So, but we want to take a look at. We're gonna run this here, and we're gonna take a look at what it's going for us here. And this is our storm as it comes down out of Canada, and we're gonna advance it here, and we're gonna run it through. And you see that storm, and it's really an Alberta clipper coming down out of Canada, and it really gets its act together and deepens as it gets to the Gulf Coast, and it picks up Gulf moisture. And you can see that for tomorrow, the 15th, this is where it'll be on Saturday, as it heads through to the Gulf Coast, picks up some of that moisture, and you can see those thunderstorms along the coast. Mississippi, Alabama, going to get a lot of rain, showers, and thunderstorms. Could watch for the possibility of severe weather. Could be some tornadoes here. Definitely you could see some water spouts off the shore in the Gulf of Mexico. And we're going to run it into Sunday, the 16th. This is where our storm will be on the 16th. As you can see in Tennessee and Kentucky, you can see that snow start to develop in the mountains as this low pressure center starts to deepen as it rounds the base of that trough from the north. As you can see, as it turns around the base, it deepens to a 999 millibars, and millibars is a barometric pressure, which is the lower this is under 900, the stronger the storm. The storm is a 999 millibar low. As you can see, it head up the East Coast, and this is where it's going to be on the 17th. And this is the storm's position on the 17th. As you can see, it is a little bit deeper. See, that rain gets heavy. Those thunderstorms get a little bit heavier. That snow gets heavier. And you also see some pinks mix in, which is an indication that there's going to be some mixed precipitation or frozen precipitation. You can see some freezing rain. And it's called a cold dam. What's happening is that cold air, that warm, moist air runs into that cold air of the mountains. It freezes the rain on contact with the surface immediately. It's like flash freezing. As you can see, you get that what's called cold damming. It's a cold dam, because it's a dam of cold air that warm, wet air runs into. And as it hits that air, you see it creates that freezing rain. It freezes on contact with the roadway and the ground. And we're going to progress this up as it heads towards the East Coast. You can see the low gets even deeper. You see it strengthens as it heads up the East Coast. That a lot more energy gets in behind it, and a lot of that colder air works in behind this storm. As you can see, is now at 988 millibars. This is a really strong storm. I'm impressed with the storm, And it's in the perfect spot as well. It's not too far out to sea. It's not too far inland. It's right where it needs to be, at least according to this model. Some of the models differ. We're going to take a look at all of the different models. We're going to look at some of the we're going to look at some of the ensemble. The ensembles basically is a culmination of all the models put together. You take all the models, put them together, and you take a mean of what's going on to spit out. It's kind of like a middle road for the forecast solutions. And we're going to run this up the East Coast. And this is where this storm will be on the 17th. The 14th is Friday. The 15th is Saturday, Sunday. 16th. This is Monday. I was like, wait, what day is it? So the 17th is Monday. So this is going to be a big East Coast storm for Monday. So the folks, Monday is Martin Luther King Day. So Martin Luther King Day, a lot of folks ain't going to have to go to work. So I don't have to work. My office is closed Monday. So I get to stay home and enjoy our nice weather in the 20s. We're going to have nice weather following the passage of tomorrow's snow. So this storm is going to move up the East Coast. We're going to work with this going up the East Coast. Now there it is, hitting Boston, hitting the New Hampshire, Vermont, upstate New York. It's going to get heavy snow. As you can see, those pinks, those darker colors, that's a lot of snow, especially along the lakes here. You see a lot of snow moving in. And the low is 987 millibars. It got even stronger as it heads up the East Coast. So we're going to move it right along. 986 is still strengthening as it heads towards Maine and Nova Scotia. It's moving right along the eastern seaboard. We're going to watch this storm move right up. 985. It's still strengthening. It is, wow. If it hits the 970s, oh my God, that's hurricane. That's hurricane strength. If it hits 970, this is a strong tropical storm for strength or category 1 hurricane level. So we're gonna watch it. 984 it still strengthens as it heads up the East Coast. Now it's in Nova Scotia. This is going to go up into 982. As you can see, if the upper low is kind of separates from the surface low pressure, it kind of takes on a negative tilt. It takes on a negative tilt. Those isobars you see, it leans out as that blocking ahead causes the storm to take a negative tilt because of the negative phase of the NAO, the North Atlantic Oscillation, which is one of those upper air currents that this oscillation are patterns in the current that causes blocking, which means there's big high pressure out over Greenland or the North Atlantic, which blocks the forward progression of these storms. And when the NAO is negative, it's when that blocking is in place. And so as our storm, you notice our storm kind of slows down the forward progression. So the upper low is kind of lagging behind as the front erases off because it's being steered along by at different latitudes. So you watch this, so it's 982, and you see our storm is still there in the picture at 981. It's almost at hurricane strength. 979, there it is. It hit the 979. So this is category 1 hurricane strength. And with those tight isobars, we're talking about really strong wind also with this heavy snow. A lot of snow, a lot of wind. I'm willing to, and if I was to make a guess, I would guess that folks in Boston, if you were in Massachusetts, some places could pick up more than 15, maybe 20 inches of snow easily with a storm this strong. So as you can see, we're going to run the clock. There it is. And we'll bring it back here. I saw something interesting. But and here we got another Alberta clipper that's going to come across. And this one is going to hit Wisconsin. And we're going to see this storm. You see, It begins to lose power at 981. Yeah. So you see 978. It still strengthens as it heads into the North Atlantic. So that is an impressive storm. We have another Alberta Clipper that's coming across here, and this is going to come by on the 18th. This is Tuesday. So another round of snow for, looks like, northern Minnesota and Wisconsin could pick up a few inches of snow. This doesn't look like it's too heavy. So this is going to move on off. This is an Alberta Clipper. It's going to move across Michigan. It's going to move toward the northeast again, take a more inland track, head offshore. It's going to head offshore, and it's not a very deep low, so this one's not going to be strong. But you see that it's going to tap into some more Gulf moisture and moisture off of that ocean, and it's going to make more rain, showers, and thunderstorms along for North Georgia, central Alabama, and a little bit more snow for West Virginia. It's going to bring some snow and a little bit of freezing rain. And that is the forecast for the 20th. But we're going to stop that one there because this is supposed to be a weekend forecast. So my focus should be only on this weekend. But there's so much going on. So we're going to take a look now at the European model. This is the European deterministic forecast model. And let me go to my controls here. And the Google Chrome acts stupid sometimes. So it's really playing games. So now we're looking at, and this is a big picture of that storm. And you can see the storms going across, coming around that circulation. Here is the circulation of the polar vortex here, and you can see those weather systems come down out of Canada, swing across the base of the trough of the lobes of the polar vortex, come around, and that's our storm right here. That's our Monday, Tuesday storm for the Northeast. You saw that one there. And here we're going to let it run around again. Let's speed it up so that it can come by a little quicker. There we go. You can really see it. And you see it kind of go off to the north there. You see again another piece of energy come through. And this is the European model of the this is the European deterministic model. And the European basically stands for the is the ECMWF model, and it's the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting. This is my favorite model that I like to use because I think it's more accurate. It tends to make more sense a lot of time than the GFS model does. The GFS likes to make wild swings back and forth, and as you get closer to the event, those swings get more narrower and narrower until it starts to pin it down, which like we have for tomorrow. It's got a pretty solid handle on what's going to happen in Minnesota tomorrow. So it's pretty consistent. So the National Weather Service feel that they know enough about this track and the strength to post their necessary advisories for Minnesota and the Dakotas and Iowa based on that determination and those ensemble models. All the models are in agreement of this is what's going to happen when they're not all saying different things. But this model here, you can see it looks pretty much identical to what the GFS was saying. So as you can see, that storm comes onshore again. You see it comes not onshore, but it does come onshore from the Pacific. It rides over that ridge out west, goes down below this trough, and turns up the east coast and heads into the North Atlantic. Some storms turn over Greenland, some head out towards Great Britain or Europe. And so that's what this model shows. It's not much different than the GFS. And this is a high-res image of the European model. So we are going to go to our next map here. And we are going to take our high-res image of the European model. That's the GFS. Here is, let me go back to my screen here. And this one is, there we go. That's my model. No, that is not the one that I want. It's running on this map. So that's what we care about here. And what we're going to do, it's really hard to, I'm trying to get used to manipulating this. And we are going to drop, there we go. Perfect. Very good. So we see our, this is the high resolution of the European model. So we're gonna go back here. We are gonna bring it back, and it actually goes back quite a bit here. So we are gonna take a look at our storm here. Our storm that is raising heavy. Oh, we don't want to open the soundings, and again, they're not working. So we like that when they're not working. All right, so here's our storm. We're gonna bring it back. And I'm going to show you what the European says as opposed to what the GFS showed. And we're going to look and see how it likes to jump ahead. It's really jumpy, these controls are. All right, so we're going to go back to here, and we are going to look at our storm as it comes through Minnesota. This is for tomorrow. This is what see, now, here's what's interesting. You see the colors, the heavier snow on this model is painted more in North Dakota, and it is pretty identical here. Heavy snow down on that southwestern tip of Minnesota and that northwestern corner of Iowa. You see that darker snow. That's that 10-inch, that 10-inch snow totals right there. 10 inches or more here. As you see on this model, it's a little bit further west, the heavier snow. But it shows snow for the Twin Cities and St. Cloud and all the way probably, maybe Rochester. Rochester would be right about here. Might get a little bit, maybe an inch or less for the eastern areas of Minnesota. So this storm, we're going to move it and run it through Minnesota and Iowa. You see that front develops right here. Here's the dry slot. It's dry slotting right here. That's dry air trying to overrun and run and mix into the system. You get those really strong storms. They are so strong that dry air gets wrapped around and you get what's called a dry slot that gets caught up in that flow. So some people may not get as much precipitation as other areas within that storm because of dry air that's mixing in. And so we're going to run it and take it into the Gulf states. There it is. Remember, the GFS showed it in the same spot, and it did the pretty much identical. So we look at it right there. Showers and thunderstorms. There's those strong storms coming in off the Gulf. Louisiana, we got New Orleans in the picture. We have Mississippi, Birmingham. We have Alabama. And we have Starkville in Mississippi, which is where the campus of the school where I'm pursuing my meteorology stuff is Mississippi State University. It's in Starkville, Mississippi. They're going to get in on those thunderstorms on Saturday. So that's going to be down in the south along the Gulf Coast. So our storm is going to round the base. And it's going to head toward the northeast. It's going to begin its long trek toward the northeast. We see it here. We are going to drag it back and forth here. And we see it turn the base. We see it round. We're going to see it round the base here as it comes down around the base. This is going to be for Saturday and Sunday. And we see that pink. You see that pink there? That pink here is going to be freezing rain. That is freezing rain from that cold dam. And this one actually depicts that freezing rain better than the GFS does. It picks that up better. You see those differences in the model. The storm is in pretty much the same location. You see it head up the East Coast. As it heads up the East Coast, you see it's actually deeper and more lower latitudes than the GFS. The European has it as a 995 millibar low, more in the mid-Atlantic, whereas the GFS didn't show the 990 millibars until it was pretty much in New England. So this is why we think this is going to be a strong storm, because the European model, I think, is more accurate when it comes to predicting these kinds of things. So you see it's a 984, 982. This is a Category 1 hurricane. You look, you get 980 around Boston. You see the Boston? 986, 984, 982 is strengthening, and as it heads up, here it is. Look at it as it runs off into it. It actually weakens as it heads past Nova Scotia and out into the North Atlantic. Here is our next Alberta Clipper, and we're going to leave it there at the 18th because we're going to cover that on my Sunday forecast. So we just want to focus on, I wanted to focus on that big storm because it's going to impact a lot of people, even though it's not going to hit the Northeast until Monday. So, but even though it does going into next week, but since it's a long weekend, we can include Monday in this weekend's forecast. So so that's what the European deterministic model. Here is the GEFS ensemble, which I think are more reliable than the deterministic models. We like to go with what the deterministic models says. So we are gonna take a look at we're going to take a look at what this model says. We're going to look at this one here. That's what this one is, I believe. So let's I don't like that it does that, but we're going to rock with it. I don't know if the folks saw my my screen go blank there, but we're going to rock with it. I'll rewatch the video afterward to edit that out maybe. So as we look at this is the GEFS. As we look at that, the GEFS, there we go. There it is. There it is. There it is. I was like, why won't it come up on the screen? So we're going to take a look at that. And this is the ensemble. This is a combination of all the models put together. You see our big storm rounding the base right there. Here it comes as it makes its way up the East Coast. That's our big storm. We're not going to spend too much time on this one because I just wanted to show you that. That was our big weekend storm coming down, and you're going to let it run. I'm going to let it run through one more time, and we are going to let's bring it up so that we can get it. Oh, there we go. All right, so we see this one come through, and there is our big storm again. All right, so that's that model there. And now we are going to go to take a look at our watches and warnings that the National Weather Service put out. So here's our watches and warnings from the National Weather Service. And let's make it so that everybody can see that. All right. Let's move that down. There we go. So we get all of Minnesota in there. Okay, so this is our current watches and warnings. This is our winter storm warning. And in fact, this is a winter weather advisory. Winter weather advisory means that winter weather conditions are possible, and it usually means that you're going to get between 2 and 5 inches of snow. Anything over 5 inches is a warning. It's a winter storm criteria. So we got winter weather advisory here, and this is a winter storm watch. This here, that's what that means. So winter storm watch. And then there's some freezing rain here in parts of Illinois, and this is the Quad Cities right here. No, not the Quad Cities. I'm an idiot. This is parts of Missouri. Missouri, that's it. This is Missouri here. This northeastern corner of Missouri and parts of western Illinois is getting a little bit of freezing rain mixed in. So that's the big thing right now for the National Weather Service. Here is going to be our temperature forecast. So we are going to look at our temperatures. And this is what our temperatures are going to be for Friday. And if you look in Minnesota, where I live, we have temperatures about 20 degrees, about 19. I think it's good. That's about right with our snow. It's going to be a nice temperature for snow, but I wish it was a little warmer. Well, because if it was a little warmer, closer to 30, you get that more wet snow, more solid snow. This snow is going to be kind of powdery. It's colder temperature, so that snow is going to have a little bit less moisture content. So we're going to have that powdery snow. We haven't seen, most of our snows this winter have been warmer, more wet, more moisture laden snow. So that's where we are for as far as our temperatures across the nation. As you can see, warm across the south, 80 degrees, South Florida is where you want to be, 70s, Texas, and along the immediate Gulf Coast and the Southwest. Beautiful weather down there, but you do run that risk of severe weather once our storm begins to interact with those areas. This is what we're looking at for Saturday. Again, temperatures are about the same. We're going to be 19 here in Minnesota, 22 in Rochester. We're going to be in the teens across the northern tier of the nation with the 70s and 80s in the deep south. And this is what Sunday looks like for our temperatures. We'll warm up a little bit here in the upper Midwest in the mid-20s. And you see it cool down across the deep south as that storm system makes its way into Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama. And you see those temperatures drop into the 40s and the upper 30s in Arkansas as that rain starts to move in those thunderstorms. So that's what the temperatures look like for right now. And that was a look at our weekend weather forecast as we really take a deep dive into what's taking place with that big storm, how it's going to evolve as it moves up the East Coast. I was excited to do this forecast because there's actually something to talk about, and it's kind of exciting to forecast something like this. So, we'll keep an eye on. I will track it. I will make updates as things change, as it progresses. And I'm going to have my regular forecast. I'm going to do it on Monday this week because we have a shorter work week next week because Monday everything is closed because of the Martin Luther King holiday. So that week back to work and back to school forecast next week will be on Monday instead of Sunday. So remember to catch me every Thursday night and every Sunday as I talk about the weather for the upcoming weekend and talk about the weather for the upcoming week. And so I want to thank you for watching this video. Remember, if you're new to the channel, which mostly anybody watching is new, because this is a brand new channel. I think this is only my 4th video. I want you to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel because I'm trying to get to do this where I can do this professionally. People ask me, you want to be a weatherman? Don't you want to be on TV? No, because, I love talking about the weather. And I don't want to do a 3-minute weather forecast. I want to do 20, 30-minute weather forecast and go in depth into detail. And I think I do it in an entertaining way. So I'd rather do that than be on somebody else's dime. I'd rather do my own thing and build my own brand. And that's what the purpose of this YouTube channel. It's going to spread to TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And you can follow me on all of those platforms. I'm going to be uploading content to TikTok and to Twitter and to Instagram and Facebook. There's going to be links to this program on those networks as well. So remember, like, share, subscribe. Help me build the channel. The more subscribers, the more people watch the video and interact with the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will pick up my videos, start to share them with other folks who get to watch my videos. And I'm really excited about this opportunity to grow with you, share with you my passion and my love for weather and science. This is not just going to be a weather channel. I'm going to talk about all kinds of things like earthquakes and volcanoes. We're going to talk about space. We're going to talk about other things related to science and other things that come up. I'm going to produce videos talking about specific things in the history of science and big events like I'm going to work on a video. My first video that's not going to be a forecasting video is I'm going to make a video about the Boxing Day tsunami in 2004. I want to produce a video about that. So remember, thank you for watching the video. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel and help me build a great platform here where we get to share everything and share my love and knowledge of weather and science and all things that related to that. So thank you and have a great weekend. Remember, this storm is going to be affecting a lot of people, a large section of the country. So remember to take precautions if you're on the roads and you have to travel. Remember to take it slow, anticipate your stops, and put a good distance between you and any vehicles in front of you. So remember that and take that with you to the bank. Hey, thank you and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.